What you are listening to is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in the squared circle. Both parties have agreed to dismiss their cases and have their disputes settled here in our forum, the Turnbuckle Debate.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Turnbuckle Debate. I'm your host for the evening, Chad.
I'm Mike Belcaster.
And joining us, his third appearance, the one.
Third, baby.
The
I
only.
am the Booker Man. I'm
Three
respect
P.
you, Booker Man.
Three P.
I'm cashing checks and breaking necks.
So we're going triple threat tonight. The host, your normal host, Sneedo, and the staple could not be here with us tonight. So we are going to go three wide into three topics. We got some good ones tonight, guys.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. It's going to be a good show.
Boney, real quick, man, what's been going on with Coming Down the Aisle, man? Give us some updates.
Coming down the aisle, well, in about 2 to 3 weeks. Actually, it's kind of funny enough. The same time the debate started, the same week, Coming Down the Aisle started. So we got the 1 year approaching. So
That's awesome.
I got a sweet 1 year giveaway happening for a Kevin Nash Elite. You go to Instagram, follow all that. And this week I got Philip Cardigan, Cat Superstar on the show.
He's great, man. We had him on in the early days. I love Phil Cardigan.
Yeah. So we're gonna be watching some cool stuff. So check us out.
Hell yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah. And just a plug for Boney, Young Anthony, and Tom.
Yes.
The RAWDOWN starts on Tuesday at 10 p.m.
Yes.
on YouTube. So check those guys out. They're going to kill it on the RAWDOWN.
Yeah. So if you listen to us, on Monday, normally Monday nights, Tom and I do the Raw recap. That is going away. Tuesday nights, we're going to have a mash. Basically, no more brand split, baby.
Combining the rosters.
Combining the rosters. So it'll be
might speak something into existence.
Well, you know. And so we'll have the RAWDOWN where we kind of just break down the week of WWE.
I dig it.
I can't wait. And Mike, you're going to have All Elite wrap up on Wednesday night. We're doing away with the Rampage recap, doing away with Dynamite Discourse. We're doing a super show. That'll be fun.
A loaded one too. We got Rampage, Dynamite, and Dynamite. Push all into like a small little package, but we got this, man. It's gonna be a good show.
There's a lot of stories to be told over the course of what happened over this weekend.
Yeah, damn right.
But yeah, we'll jump into our topics. Topic number 1 is, does Dan Lambert, an American Top Team, have a place in AEW?
I'll start it off. I absolutely love Dan Lambert. I loved him from Jump Street. Like whenever he was in Miami and he cut that promo, I know some people were like, "What is this?" I was like, they're building something awesome to this." And admittedly, like I didn't know too much about America's Top Team, but I love the way he cuts promos. I think he's great. Why not? WWE has Brock Lesnar. Of course, he was a WWE superstar beforehand, became UFC star, blah, 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 blah. They had the Cain Velasquez, debacle. But, they've had like MMA stars, Tyson Fury. I know he's boxing, but Tyson Fury's been in there, Why not have they know these guys know how to work, they know how to hurt, but they also know how not to hurt, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So these are trained assassins basically that know how to make it look good. But on the other end, you have Men of the Year with Ethan Page and Scorpio that could kind of give that wrestling dynamic as well too.
Oh, what do you think, Mike?
You know what? I hated Dan Lambert at the beginning, but he was doing his job correctly. That fat-faced dipshit fucking found a beautiful spot in my heart. I'm really enjoying everything, especially after this past Dynamite Rampage. It was good promos. They're really giving it to Sammy Guevara and Jericho and the Inner Circle in general. I'm loving it, man. And like Boney was talking about that Miami show they did, where the crowds were just like, all over him, and it was he's got heat, man, like Cornette heat, good heat.
Yeah,
not like boo, get the hell out of here heat. It is solidified, solid heel heat. I love it, man. I'm all here for it. I think they belong, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future with them.
Yeah, I'm kind of like with both of you guys, because when he first came out, my first initial reaction anytime an outsider comes in is like, all right, we're putting wrestlers with this. This is the program we're going to have to watch. Couldn't we put actual wrestlers in this position? But at the same time, I'm thinking that I know Dan Lambert, because he showed up in Impact TNA a few times before. I know he's a diehard wrestling fan. And when he was cutting those promos, I was like, dude, this guy, he's a natural. He just has it. And there was a little bit of like, let's see where this goes. I think he was getting good heat. Now I know Bully Ray has came out and said that he's wondering if the AEW, if it's hitting too close to home, and the AEW fans are.
You're a mark, Bully. You're a mark.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, no, they're booing him. And prime example was that Miami show. Me and Sneed talked about this. Like that show, I feel like a lot of people just saw it as like, oh, that was a good segment. But to me, they're like, Sneed pointed it out better than anyone. Sneed was like, dude, there was something about that. He was like, that segment when Jericho called out Paige for the Instagram filters, and then Dan Lambert called out Jake Hager's big ass head. Like, do you step through that? Like the crowd during that segment. I've never seen a crowd more properly cheer baby faces, and then on the drop of a dime, as soon as Lambert started talking to rebuttal them, they booed that son of a bitch out of the building. And that's what you want. Like NXT back in the heyday, the NXT that I loved, even at the height of NXT's glory days, they had an issue, I think, of crowds being that 50-50 split with heels, where like you would have half of them cheering them because they were just so good in the ring and beloved. But for someone to be able to, like outside of an MJF, for someone to be able to just draw that pure heel heat where we love to hate you, that's rare in pro wrestling.
Well, he has really nothing to lose. It's not like it's not like he's on this upcoming wrestler, but to your point, like wrestlers don't, some of the guys, they don't know how to generate like real heat. They're too scared of it. But Dan Lambert, I mean, okay, if Tony Khan says, all right, this is not working, bro, thanks, but no thanks. All right, I'll just go back to my school, But whenever he opened his mouth up, this is going back to Road Rager way back, I could tell how knowledgeable he was, because he was talking about, you got your Gordon Soley's in Florida, Eddie Graham's, and AEW's here taking a shit. I was like, oh, I love it. I think where they semi dropped the ball is they didn't follow up on it, and I think that's probably where some people kind of had an issue with it. He just went in there and just lambasted AEW, and just people were like, what the fuck is that? Like, what was that? Like, so they should have followed up a little bit on it, but they had so much going on. It's kind of hard to really be like, should have given this guy some time. They had so much going on after when they had crowds running back. So, I understand, but I almost kind of think too, because right around that time I believe is when the Poirier McGregor fight was going on, and so it almost kind of seems like he was just there to promote it, promote that.
That's
fight.
what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And so I think though once they, maybe whenever he got there, and this is just kind of coming to my head right now, and he saw what kind of promo he cut. Maybe he's like, we could do something with this guy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
So like I think that's kind of what would happen, honestly. But I think because there was a gap, people were like, what is this guy about? But I'm all for it.
I think you're onto something. I think you're onto something. I think they brought him in for maybe a couple week program, and they blew him away, or he blew them away with his promo. And Mike, you dropped a name to me that is very key in this whole character. Is Dan Lambert is being the Jim Cornette.
Is
he's the Jim Cornette opinion in AEW, and I think that says 100%. A lot about this company, that they're allowing a character to voice that opinion.
And that's why I love that. That's why I love the original promo. Like they're like, okay, we're going to take our criticism and shove it up your ass.
Yep. Well, even this past weekend when Sammy came out and he was talking shit, and then he was like, "You fat face dipshit," and the crowd started cheering "fat face dipshit." He turns to the crowd and he's not paying attention to Sammy. He's like, "No, shut up! Like don't start that shit right now. Fuck you!" Like,
which makes them want to do it more.
Yeah, no, that's what made it more pure of that Jim Cornette love. Yeah, like I was like, "Oh, I love this," and it was. I thought it was a good spot, man. I think he's in a good space. He's partnered with the right crew. And I think it can only get bigger from here on out. So I'm excited to see where Dan Lambert goes from here, man.
I would like to see one more AEW wrestler in that group.
Yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely.
I'm trying to think who that would be. Maybe I'm almost tempted to say a Miro, but Miro's good on his own. Actually, Lance Archer would be great in that group. I know he went up against him. But to have the Murder Hawk,
Yeah, you need a big guy.
Yeah,
break him away from Jake. As much as I hate to say that, I mean, I know Jake's in bad health too.
Even like a Daniel Garcia, someone that's a good one, like a purebred wrestler.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like if they weren't tied up with the Pinnacle, FTR would be right up.
Oh God, that would be perfect.
Wow. Yeah, and it's. The only issue I had with it initially, outside of like, oh, this is an outsider, I felt like in those early promos, even though Lambert was killing it, like if I were to nitpick the segments, I felt like he was almost stealing the show above Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. It's like I almost wanted him to like speak because he's so great at it. But the words he's speaking make it seem like, Scorpio Sky's been telling me about this, and this.
Yeah.
Ethan, put more heat on them. Like, build through your promos, not just put the heat all on yourself, but like really like lean into making these guys even more hated than just making yourself hated, and they're hated because they're associated with you.
Yeah,
I'm having trouble buying Scorpio Sky as a heel though in that group.
I get that.
I am. Ethan Page, he's good. He's all ego.
Yeah,
we got. Egon, yes,
yes, good. Love Egon. I thought Ethan Page did a great job this past weekend, showing off that he was the mouthpiece. Right. Pissed off person, and Lambert kind of was piggybacking on it. So it wasn't so like good. I think they're learning. So I think it's a good process. Absolutely. So we all learn. So that's how I look at it. So I think they're going in the right direction with it. I don't think it's getting they're handling it before it gets like, oh my God, this sucks. So that's good.
Yeah, I think there's a possibility out of this whole partnership with Dan Lambert and ATT working with AEW, because I think one thing we may see come out of this, I would not be surprised if Paige Van Zant joins the company. Even after
that'd be cool.
That'd be
because
really cool.
She had flirted. She spoke about how she was in talks with WWE at one point, and with them having this working relationship, and AEW kind of having this women's division that they're still trying to build. I think if Paige is no longer with the UFC. I believe she's been doing bare knuckle fighting here lately. Like, if she decided to transition into AEW, she looks like a star. She could be a part.
I'm not going to compare her to Ronda Rousey because Ronda Rousey is the biggest women's combat sports star of all time, but she could probably be pushed like that,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Something very similar,
I mean, they're
100%.
pushing Jake Hager as an MMA guy, and he's got 3 fights.
Yeah. Right.
For her, who, Paige Van Zandt, when she was on the roster of UFC, she was a competitor on Dancing with the Stars. Like, she has a little bit of that,
star power.
Yeah, star power in the public eye, for
she's
sure.
bringing it. Yeah, she's a celebrity. Nothing beats a celebrity status to add on to your company that's actually legit.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important, man.
That'd be good. Yeah. I love and Dos Santos look great.
Yeah,
too.
Him and Hager, man, they were killing it. I thought that was great, man.
So I guess we'll move on to the next topic, and that is this is J Bone's topic. Is the Becky Lynch heel turn working? J Bone, kick us off on this.
So what prompted this first of all, she had been, of course, she's getting 50-50 reactions for one thing. Whenever she came back, it's not how I imagined her to come back at all. They completely botched it, from the get go. But the one thing that prompted this idea. So if we look back this past Friday, some interesting situation occurred with this stupid ass title exchange, right? So, and if you're not familiar, title exchange, basically Becky was a SmackDown champion, but she's on Raw. Charlotte's this Raw champion, but she's on SmackDown. So they've basically swapped the titles, right?
Kind of.
So if you didn't watch, kind of. It was weird. So
it was awkward.
If you didn't watch the segment, and I don't blame you, but basically what happened was they went to kind of exchange, and Becky went to go grab the title, and Charlotte dropped it, and then they had this weird thing where Becky just got pissed off and just threw it. What was supposed to go down, supposedly, is Becky was supposed to grab the title, and she was supposed to be Becky 2 belts, right?
And Charlotte didn't like that.
Charlotte didn't like that. Like backstage, I'm not about that life. And so that's why Becky got really frustrated, it seems like. And then supposedly, if you read the chatter, and there's been some very prominent, very well respected people who have talked about this. It's not just like some, Uncle Dave talk, Uncle Dave is one, anyways. But supposedly that they had some words backstage. But my initial question going back, so is Becky the heel turn working? Obviously not. If they want to have her holding up 2 belts, right. They got it. When was the hottest she's ever been? When she was Becky 2 belts after WrestleMania 35. That's one of the hottest periods. Probably you could also argue the nosebleed stuff too.
Yeah.
But I mean, you hear the crowds. I don't understand why she's even a heel to begin with.
I don't either.
But how would you book how would you book this to come out of this? Basically, I think they've kind of booked themselves in a corner. It's gonna be hard.
They pigeonhole themselves, man, for sure. I watched I don't watch anything WWE puts out, especially lately, but I watched the clips, and there's definitely some animosity, some heat going on there. I don't know, man. I think making her a heel and then trying to, like you said, put the 2 belts on her, it contradicts the fact that you're trying to pigeonhole her in this heel spot. Make her the top heel. And you got Bianca Belair, you got a bunch of people there that could overtake the fucking role easily. But I think this exchange between Charlotte and Becky just made it worse and not made it better. Becky's just out there playing a heel. Charlotte is definitely like on the heel run.
She's a chip
Like,
off
she's
the
just
whole
like,
block.
nope. God damn, pal.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was people reporting she got escorted out of the building and all this stuff, and then she went to Florida to hang out with Andrade while he was doing AEW. Yeah, man, I think they. It's just as bad as them putting. It's like to compare it to something recently. It's like Seth versus Bray in the Hell in the Cell match. You know, they had this ending where Seth beat the hell out of Bray Wyatt. The red lights were on, and the crowd turned very easily. And I think that we will see something just like that if they don't figure this shit out quick. I don't think it's working. I think Becky should have came back as a babyface and not did that straight heel turn at Mania. It was Mania, right? Could be wrong. Royal Rumble. What the hell show is that? SummerSlam. There we go. Yeah, close enough. But yeah, man, I don't think that she is I don't think she was groomed to be the top heel. I think Charlotte was always groomed to be the top heel. And I think Becky was groomed to be the Stone Cold babyface. So contradicting that so quickly, especially after her return, right away when she returned, I think it just sticks her in this bad, part of the business. So she's just trying to do what she's supposed to do, but it ain't reacting with the crowd the way it should. So it totally fucks the whole thing up.
Yeah, I agree completely. Here's the thing with her that I think really WWE has a bad habit of doing. You're not listening to the fans.
Yeah.
She is cheered. She is loved. Me personally, I think she's not as good as what people make her out to be.
I'm kind of there with you too.
I mean, she is. People love her. She is a baby face,
Right.
but it's like Roman, man. No one was behind Roman, and when they changed him, people wanted that. They didn't want him to be the next John Cena. So it's working. Like when when you kind of lean into what the crowd's wanting, that's why I'm kind of like confused about this whole Cody Rhodes thing, because they're forcing him almost as a baby when the crowd is wanting him as a heel. So and that's another thing is when she came back, she was gone with the pregnancy. She comes back. She beats Bianca Belair. There was no real setup to this heel turn. So when she squashed Bianca like that, the heel turn didn't work for me. It just felt confusing. Yeah. And the worst thing a wrestling fan can be is confused.
100%.
I don't understand. I thought she was, have her come back, have her moment. She was gone for a while. We need to remember her. And then when you do that turn, it hits you harder but it just, I felt like the crowd was even confused when that happened.
Well, it's like,
absolutely.
It's like they try, they try different stuff that doesn't work on people. And then when it should be working on others. So for instance, they think, okay, we're bringing back a top star, so the fans aren't going to like this because this top star is taking this young star's talent. So we're going to make her a heel, by God. And it's like, That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Really. You have somebody who's over, and to your point, Chad, she hasn't really been over with me per se. But I get it. I still guess somewhat get it in some respect. I mean, she's a big star, but it just really confused me. You're right. I mean, and it's like they should have had that spot for somebody else. The dude for I don't know. It'd be cool to see that with a Cena. Yeah. Cena came back. Maybe have him going up against if you would have Big E as WWE champion, make Cena a heel for a month. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Quick run, nothing crazy.
Quick run, and
don't kill the gimmick.
yeah. And I know people are probably like, oh, but we've already heard the Cena heel run. It's all that's a yeah. It's just a suggestion, you know. But another thing is, people forget is this supposed heel turn that happened. That was supposed to happen 3 years ago. Is what got her into this uber babyface status
Exactly.
to begin with.
And she was great when that first happened and she got her nose broke and she had that new edge to her. This was like right before the man stuff started. I loved Becky. Like
same here.
She got her nose broke and she started owning that, and the very beginnings of the man, I was all in for it. I was like, oh, this is cool. When it started changing for me was the Becky 2-belt stuff, the over cockiness, like where to me she had shades of heel. Even when the fans loved her, some of the things she was saying and doing, I was like, I'm confused by this. Like, people are cheering her, but she's kind of a piece of shit in the way she's being. Like, it wasn't
like a Conor McGregor, basically.
Yeah,
it was bad execution.
100%. A lot of her gimmick is ripping off of fellow Irishman Conor McGregor, and it's not working for me.
But that's the thing; it's the poor execution that screws the whole damn thing up. Like, she was doing great when the nose break happened. Like, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome,
because it was organic.
And then they pulled her out of it, and like then she had to be on the sidelines for a while, and like,
and they put her with Seth.
Yeah,
people
and fuck
don't
that.
See on-screen romances, dude.
That's the worst part about all this is that, like, I know we were talking about how Seth and Becky are like the lifers of WWE right now, and like you could tell more and more as it goes on, especially after this bullshit.
Oh yeah,
but pairing her with Seth was just so hokey. And
it hurt both of them.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's why, like, it was just fucking weird and not comfortable. And I just think it was poor execution, and not on her part, but on WWE's part of like putting her in these weird bookings. Like, oh, we want you to go out there and be 2 belts again after you just beat the shit out of the Bianca Belair. And like, why does that matter now? Why does the 2 belts matter if she's just being a heel and beating the shit out of people? She doesn't need the 2 belts. She shouldn't be that over. She should be the bad girl. She should be fucking working Flair and not be. I just thought it was uncomfortable. I thought the whole thing, this whole past with SmackDown shenanigans, was just like, oh, here we go. Like, who's leaving first? And it was definitely not going to be Becky.
Well,
dude, it was messy, man.
So how do you think they booked themselves out of this? Well, I guess one thing that's going to help them is Survivor Series is coming up. A little feature on this inter-brand warfare crap. So that will help. But like, okay, you have Bianca Belair on Raw, right? She's super over. She's really great. Like, I don't see her going to see, but she needs to be somewhat of a title contender.
Yeah.
Right? Or at least put her in a good storyline.
I feel like
I don't know
the way the story has to go. Like, if you're going to keep Becky a heel, like, eventually you have to have Bianca get her comeuppance and get that belt back.
100%.
Like,
yeah,
that's the only, people love Bianca. That's the only way you possibly have a way to actually turn Becky bad. But she has to start doing. It's not the booking. I mean, we can all blame the booking because it's very easy to do with WWE to blame the booking. But at the end of the day, like, she needs to be a heel. Yeah. She's still doing that cocky. She's doing the same Becky 2-belt stuff, kind of the obnoxious Conor McGregor angle to try and get heat. But the crowd liked that when she was a babyface. So she's going to have to really go at the fans, and not this whole bullshit they always do where where she goes at the fans in a certain way, and it's just she needs to do something despicable. She needs to do something to Bianca in the ring that the fans cannot forgive her for, and
stop putting her in fucking programs with Lana. Or not Lana, with fucking Eve. Eva. Yeah. Dude, Eva Marie. Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
Cut the ponytail, baby.
Cut that ponytail. That would be good.
That's it. Not a booking thing, but they got to stop putting her in shitty programs too. If like she did something where Eva Marie had a wardrobe malfunction, It was fucking stupid, man. Like we're past this.
And
Get over
cutting-
it, man.
cutting that ponytail is a great call, and that's almost the equivalent of Bailey taking out the Bailey buddies.
Yeah.
You know, when she came out and chopped the Bailey buddies down, you knew in that moment, like, okay, this isn't the hub. Yeah.
It's created a figure for him too.
Right? Yeah.
I'll be honest though, man. Like for real, I don't agree with this guy about 99% of pro wrestling. But Vince Russo, when he came out and said Becky was shit on the mic, I was clapping. She is she's not good, man, at scripted promos. It seems rehearsed. Let her go.
Yeah.
And that's honestly probably 95% of the talent. Let them go. Just let them go.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
it's going to be okay. And, you know, you've done it. You've allowed Roman to do it. Why can't you allow the others to do it?
No,
why?
Because, we know why.
Why do you got to put the restrictor plate?
Goddamn, pal. But yeah, man, I think Charlotte did the right thing. Like just trying to like saying, fuck it. I'm not dealing with it right now.
Yeah.
You know, like even if it was an accident that she dropped the belt, that when the SmackDown belt got thrown to her and she just like let it bounce off her. She's like, all right.
Well,
that's what we're gonna do.
Did you guys see the report where people were saying that I guess Charlotte has been isolating herself and she's not around people in the backstage area, and that Becky's coming off like this huge baby face?
Right.
Stupid. Yeah. But I mean, your husband's gone, your dad's gone, you got nobody else in your corner. I would be the same way. I'd be like, fuck you guys. Like you guys got rid of everything I care about here. Like, you know, and then you're doing this angle that you've been doing for the last, I mean, we're at like 10 years almost with her. Like it's got to be stale and getting old, and she sees how happy her husband is in AEW. You know, her dad's fucking living the dream still, always, even though he's, you know, canceled a million times, baby.
Black helicopters.
Yeah, black helicopters, white helicopters, Ric Flair, wardrobe malfunction, stewardess. But yeah, no, I think that she's starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and she's like, I'm good if you guys don't want me here. Like I don't need to be doing this shit. So
her dad's gone, her man's gone. I think she's starting to be like, you know what, I want to be in a place where I can actually like wrestle.
Happy.
Yeah. And
happiness is a big thing. Mental health, man, we preach it all the time, but like if you see that you'd be happier somewhere else, man, you go for it. And like you see the tweets from Andrade where he's like, F you, WWE. And, you know, he's doing his whole gimmick. He means it, though. He's got her back, man. And good for him. Good for him and good for her for the sticking with each other and doing it, because you don't need the machine to tell you how to live your life, man, especially behind the scenes. So I think it's good for everybody. I think Charlotte needs the break free, man. I think maybe that'll help Becky get into a better spot.
I'm with you. So just round the horn, is Becky Lynch's heel turn working? I don't think so.
Nope.
No, it's definitely not working. One thing I did find interesting, because Becky and Charlotte were like legitimately friends, like good friends in one.
Oh yeah,
too.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I thought I don't know if the relationship broke down whenever was supposed to have that heel turn, or what. I always thought like, okay, it's like this the kayfabe stuff.
Yeah,
right? But I don't know. It's interesting. I say, you know, maybe I'm getting worked, bro. But
listen, bro, it's all about the working, bro. They're working you, they're working them, they're working me. But no, I read something that was a couple months back or a couple before she got pregnant, but Becky called Charlotte plastic after all of her surgeries and shit.
Right.
And that's where the heat started. You know, so I get that though. I'd be fucking pissed too. I'd be like, "Fuck you!" Like, I mean, Charlotte looks 100% like a different person than she did on NXT.
I saw a meme says it's good to see Cher in wrestling.
but I mean it. She doesn't look like her. Like anything I remember watching on NXT. And I remember tuning in. I might have watched a clip like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, God damn, like, I can't believe that's the same person. And it's not in a bad way. Like, she doesn't look gross. I don't know what you're talking about. He's disgusting. I just think like maybe she's just doing shit to better herself, and like good for her. Like, who are we gonna fucking judge?
Yeah, takes all kinds to make the world go round.
Goddamn.
Do you, boo boo?
Do you, boo boo? Hey, boo boo. Yeah.
So I guess we'll move on to the third and final topic of the evening. Should Cody have beaten Malakai Black? And this was at this past Saturday's Dynamite. I'll say this right out of the gate. I love this match. The match itself, I thought both dudes brought fire. This was one of the better Cody matches I've seen. I know, we're an AEW podcast, me and Sneeb, but I can't speak for Steve, but for myself, I've never been like huge on Cody matches. Yeah. I've never been like a huge Cody guy. I love what he's done for the company. I'm a fan of him, but like, I'm not counting down the days for a Cody match, but this feud I liked, and he surprised me in this match. I thought Cody had a great match with Malakai.
Likewise.
Didn't like the ending as much, but I do think we keep saying this with Cody, and maybe like we're just fools for saying this, but I feel like there's something else. I feel like there's something coming. You know what I mean? I feel like we're just being long worked on the story, but I wasn't happy with the ending.
I have a kind of an idea about this. So going into it, did not want Cody to win. Did not think he should win anything. But however, if you notice before that last picture-in-picture they did, I guess it was. I don't know if it was whenever he did the finisher through the. I can't think of his finisher name through the table.
Crossroads through the table.
Crossroads. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So if you notice, they did an advertisement for Rhodes to the top in that, and part of that was the new episode was talking about how he's not being cheered anymore, and he's like, whatever. I think they're gonna follow that as a storyline, and I know people are probably like, oh my god, what? But hear me out. I think it's going to work because people are going to be like, oh, my God, really? Now we're going to do this, Cody? And it's just going to generate more and more heat. And he's going to come out and be like, I'm a great guy. Like,
I hope.
I have a daughter. My wife is beautiful. I have a great show.
Why don't you cheer me?
Why don't you like me?
Yeah.
Just like me.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of thinking. I think that I'm not gonna say that it only works if that happens, but if something to that degree happens, the loss that Malakai takes is. But other than that, if it's not, then it becomes meaningless, honestly, and it kind of shits on a great match. To be honest with you,
absolutely.
So that's that.
So I just want to read something. Tommy Yen posted, I think it was this morning or yesterday, but he says, the entire world is a graveyard, and if you think it was about putting my shoulders on the mat, you're rudely mistaken. My job was to destroy you and your world. The entire world hates you. You become the beast I set out to make you, and I was willing to sacrifice my blood for it. Enjoy the seeds I've planted for months. House always wins. # House of Black. So I wasn't upset Cody won per se. I thought it was a fucking great match. Good back and forth.
Yeah.
The ending was like Cody gave everything to put the monster down,
Right.
And it wasn't, move like it wasn't just one crossroads, it's over. And I seen the crowd when he did that first crossroads, and they were like, fuck you. Come on, no. And like he kicks out and the crowd's like, thank God. But like he set him up for that Tiger Driver. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, but I thought it was going to be a pedigree.
I thought so too.
I did too.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit!
Too.
Like he's calling big shots, and like, but I think that was a good swap out. But I think that Chad hit it on the money with the poison black mist setting into somebody, turning them into somebody else, making them evil or whatever the case is. I think that we're going to see Cody go full-blown fucking Ring of Honor, New Japan heel, but it's going to take time to develop because he's got the reality show still going.
Right.
So they're still riding that. Oh, he's a good guy. He's doing this and this. I guarantee by maybe a year out from now, Cody's going to be going for the World Heavyweight Championship. Cody's going to say, fuck this, fuck that. Full-blown heel. I didn't say anything. I'm Cody Rhodes, doing that shit. Bring the fucking heat. But I think this was an amazing start to him starting to turn. And the crowd could keep booing, like you were saying, I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
I have a daughter. My wife is great. We're the roads to the top. We're roads to the top. We were so good at what we're doing. But I feel like it's going to set in, and maybe it goes with Cody coming back to the Elite at some point, or maybe it's just Cody going full buck fucking wild. Fuck the Elite. Yeah, I want to see Cody take on the Elite. Yeah, I want heels versus heels, to where you have to cheer out the baby face from the group. I want to see some beautiful shit going down. But I think this was, as Tom Yen so politely put it, this was the seeds of the destruction of what the Nightmare family is, and it's going to make Cody come back, black hair, fucking, whatever. I got Barry the drug-free Barry here. We're good. We're good, man. Everything's going to be great. Don't worry about it, dude. The American Nightmare Factory is fine. We're good. I want evil Cody, because I love a good heel, and I know Cody can play a good fucking heel, man.
Yeah,
love it.
Dude, and that line, the world is a graveyard, or however he put it. What do you do in a graveyard? You bury things. What's one of those Triple H critiques of Cody? Burying people.
Yep.
It's very genius. What I love about what you said, Mike, is that slow. And we've seen little tiny things for over the last probably 8 or 9 months of us being oh, is he going to form a new 4 horsemen? Is he going to do that? We've been teased so many ways. But here's the big thing for me. I was upset when he won, in the moment, but you guys thinking about it.
Right.
And Mike, you put it great, but I watch Roads to the Top with Cassie, and we also watch Heels. And when you watch Heels, there's the brother that's I don't want to be a heel. I don't. And we would always bitch about the brother, dude, it's wrestling. What's it matter if you're a heel or a babyface? And then we're watching Roads to the Top, and Cassie's he's just like the brother from Heels. Because he's I'll never be a heel. I will not do it.
Yeah, about turning back.
Yeah, you're talking about the Rhodes. Do you really think a guy whose family is built in pro wrestling? I mean, his dad was a legend. He grew up around it. His mother grew up around the business. His sister is the torchbearer of the Rhodes family name. His brother has been in it for 5 decades, wrestled in 5 decades.
Yeah.
Do you really think he doesn't see the money on the table? He knows that they're very busy right now with their top heavy with so many big names kind of moving and shaking. He sees the writing on the wall. He cannot continue just the way he is. He has to do something to put himself in that top position again.
Yep.
And by becoming this crazy heel like J-Bone talked about with I'm not a heel. I'm a good guy.
I'm a Rhodes. I can't be.
Where he feels he feels like he's doing good, but he's not. I feel
and I think
it's
Arn,
there, man.
I think Arn is going to be egging on a lot of that now, especially with the mist spinning on his eyes. He's going to be yeah, you're not a heel. You're a great guy.
Yeah.
I've seen I've done some bad things in my life. You're not a bad guy. You're a great guy. And then I think you're gonna start seeing maybe like his hair. He's gonna stop blonde. Keeping it blonde.
Bleaching it, yeah.
If you stop bleaching, it's gonna slowly start coming back through black. Maybe that'd be.
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just
and
like,
you slowly see Arn. He's not just Grandpa Arn.
no,
He slowly starts morphing back into that
enforcer mode.
the enforcer, the
Yeah.
horseman, like
Right.
The
dude.
clock granddaddy.
What? Oh.
It could work.
He could start going after some certain heels like I'm trying to think, maybe like a Daniel Garcia, right? But just
Yeah.
like beat the shit out of him, like in the back,
Right.
or where he just kind of turns on his students, and just starts beating the shit out of his students, like y'all need to get on my level,
Something.
like I'm the rest, but then it's like, well, I'm a great guy though. I'm a great guy.
I wouldn't even be upset.
Don't pursue.
I wouldn't even be upset if this loaded back up to a Dustin versus Cody Part 2 match.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
That'd
Where
be
Dustin's
great.
like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, get your shit together." And like, he's got Fuego and the rest of the guys behind him. Like, "Yeah, Cody, you were such a good guy." And like, Cody's like, "I am a good guy."
Dude, Cody against Hangman.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Cody! Like, okay, think about it this way. So, you got Bryan Danielson, you got CM Punk, you got Hangman Adam Page, you got all these beautiful baby faces, money makers. Cody doesn't fit in with that group.
Nope.
So how's Cody going to get into it? I wouldn't buy tickets to see face Cody versus face CM Punk.
No.
I want heel Cody where he's like, "I'm going to fuck you up. You're in my world now. Fucking best in the world." He's like, "I am the best in the world. This is my company." Like that kind of shit. Oh, I'd fucking.
And I feel like
Oof.
this whole like I'll never turn. He's working
part
The
of
people,
setup.
man.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
He's working people.
Cody's a big comic book guy. Like, he's a comic book nerd. So
Star Wars nerd.
he loves big story arcs.
Yep.
And so that's what he's doing right now. He's doing a big, huge story arc, and
Of course.
when he's ready to turn it up, it's gonna hit us, and we're gonna be like, whoa.
Yeah.
So
and
he's
it's
just like,
perfect. Like that slow burn allows everything else to kind of shake out. All this top 10.
Yeah.
So when he finds that perfect moment to go in, and here's the thing, like everyone, we're all predicting a lot of people were predicting, oh, he's going to turn heel. Like even I was saying, like there's a potential for Malakai Black Cody 3. We could have saw a double turn where Cody turned because the crowd loves Malakai. Like they could have flipped them there. But I think what he's great at is just teasing us and keeping us waiting. And if he was to turn on Saturday, say he turned heel, we were all expecting it. The greatest heel turns are when you finally give up and you're like, this motherfucker's going to be a babyface until the end. Like he's not changing. We all kind of like accept it. And then when you least expect it, the heel turn happens. Then there's like it's like, I don't want him to turn when we're all expecting him to turn. It'll make it more rewarding, I feel like.
Yeah, it takes away from the fun of it. I think you're right on the money with it. And I think that Cody is so well groomed in the business that he's like, "Nope, not yet. I'll let you know when. Not yet. Nope, not yet." But when it happens, I was expecting the Stardust Cody gimmick to come out on Saturday, and I was like, "Oh, here we go. We got fucking weird ass Cody coming out." But he still came out fucking with his colonial jacket on, ready for the Boston Tea Party. Like, all right, I got this. It's gonna be good. Throws the belt in the crowd. All the fucking good guy shit. But
Dude.
like that's the thing. We're starting to see more good guys than we are bad. Cody's gonna be the fucking first change. Where it's gonna be like, oh shit, and he's gonna be brutal when he does because we don't. Cody can work, man. He could cut a promo, in a million different directions. But this is gonna be whatever it does happen, it's going to be huge, and it's going to be the talk of the fucking whole industry for a while.
And I wish people, and I say people, I mean wrestling fans. No, not you, because you realize this in this category.
Goddamn.
People would realize, like, this is storytelling, bro. Like, people who say, oh, AEW doesn't have any storytelling. They just put two people in the ring together and they just fight. No, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to everything.
Little details. Yep.
It's very little
Easter eggs. Yeah,
right.
It's the best part about AEW, man. They follow through with shit, man.
They do.
Look at Hangman and Kenny. It's still going.
Yeah.
And we thought it was over with a month ago. We were like, fuck, well, what's going to happen? And it was like, nope, here we go.
And I think,
I love it.
One of the big things for me is, like Cassie pointed out, when he came out in the Homelander gear, she's like, no one our age would like him, as like, that's for kids. Like, her little boy Parker, 7 years old, he's going to see Cody Rhodes and he's going to be like, this guy's awesome. But our age, we resent that type, like the red, white, and blue, the shiny white meat baby face. And that's why I think he will he's working us, and he definitely will turn heel, because one of the bad things about WWE is the fact that, well, yeah, John Cena was just so against, like, turning.
Yeah.
And, like, you need to open yourself up to every possibility. And I feel like when they created AEW, it was kind of in that credo of, like, anything's on the table if it's good for business.
Yeah.
We're not going to make these stances of, I'm not going, like, if the fans want it, we'll give it to them. So if he makes this stance of, I will never do this, and the fans want him to do this, it's going against the very credo that they set out with when the company was formed.
Yeah. And so, that's kind of what would hit me with that Roads to the Top preview, because I don't watch Roads to the Top. Not that I have anything against it. I just haven't called an episode yet. I will eventually get there. But when I saw that, I'm like, and I kind of saw the way the match was going. Like, pretty much when I saw that Crossroads to the table, I'm like, he's gonna win this. But when I saw that preview, I'm like, hold on, let's pause. So I didn't like get super upset with it, but I was patient. I was like, okay, let's, and that's the one thing that people have to have, patience.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And that's why I, for so long, preached patience when I was, before AEW. Like, people, I hate WWE, but guys, it's just a TV show. Just be patient.
Just wait, yeah.
Let
it play out. Let it play out.
AEW came out, so I'm like, fuck WWE.
But even going with what you were saying, like, during that Road to the Top promo, it was like, what if I leave my boots in the ring? And Tony Khan's like, are you okay? He's like, what if I wrap it up for a little bit? Yeah. Like, it was like, is he really gonna, like, oh, okay, maybe Cody's done after this match. Like, they were trying to swerve it with the promo. Right. So like it was almost proper that they did it that way. And then Cody's like, fucking 2 crossroads, a Tiger Driver.
Cutter from the top ropes.
Yeah, it doesn't take away how good of a match it was. Like,
no.
Tom texted me instantly, Cody, I can't stand them. And I was like, I get it, but like, let it play out, man. Let it play out. Just take it in and enjoy it, man. Because I'm telling you, it's going somewhere else. It's that like, fucking stupid black piece of shit. Like, but it was a solid match, and it just shows you that Cody can still fucking do those caliber matches. Especially because he doesn't work all that often. Like, he works, but like when he goes for broke, he delivers fucking hard.
He delivers hardcore. Yeah. And I guess my just clear-cut answer to the debate, should Cody have beaten Malakai, we'll only know the answer to that question 6, 7, 8, 9 months from now. As bad as everyone's like, I hate him as a let's see where this goes. This could be the
Exactly.
moment we look back on and like, okay, it made sense. Now, if it could not make sense, but let's see where
Yeah.
the storytelling goes.
I'm with you on that. I think part of me wants to be in favor for AEW because they haven't really fucked us over as fans yet.
Absolutely. I have faith in them.
100%. Yeah. And I think with the booing, the crowd reaction, with the way he's like you see it when they're doing it. He's like, what the fuck? Like in the
Yeah.
ring, like he's giving
Yeah.
those little cues away. Like, what else can I do? Then he throws the belt out to the
They're
crowd. He's like,
playing
"Fuck."
it. It's
Yeah,
obvious
absolutely.
something's happening,
Yeah.
you know? Like it's so obvious. Like he's playing to that. If he was just not wanting to be a heel, he wouldn't even acknowledge it. He would just keep doing his babyface stuff.
Yeah. Imagine how good Scream would be if they didn't show you the killer until like the second, third movie.
Right.
You know what I like? Just imagine, like you're like, whoa, fuck, that got really
Right.
crazy. Hello, Sydney. You know, you're like, oh shit, but like, just imagine, like it was not taken away from how good of a fucking slasher flick Scream is, but like if they would have kept you waiting another 2 films, it probably would have done a lot better.
Oh,
like
yeah.
then you go to like people going to the third film instead of seeing Jane Silent Bob going, hey, it's a Connie Chung chick, like, and they're like, it's like, you get the big payoff. People love big payoffs. I'm here for the big payoff. I think that's where they're going with it.
I hope he's in the Owen Cup and he comes out and goes, another nugget. Woo!
Well, I
that'd
guess
be-
we'll wrap it up, guys. Good debate. 3 wide, triple threat tonight.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead and plug your stuff, Boney.
At Coming Down the Aisle Instagram, at @down_aisle Twitter. Wednesday nights, Thursday mornings, we drop a new episode. We're dropping a new list here too pretty soon once we can find time to record. This month's will be top 10 promos of all time.
Oh, that's a good one. I
Like
love
it.
those. I love the list episodes. Those are great.
Show a hand to the screen and feel it.
Yeah.
Let me take my shirt off and eat this fried chicken, daddy. You gotta feel the power.
You thump your Bible. That's
Yeah.
another good.
You'll
Yeah.
help your Bible, and you don't go anywhere.
All
What?
right. So we'll see you guys next week for another edition of the Turnbuckle Debate. This is episode 50, so we're getting up to that year mark, which is fun. So until next time, court is dismissed.